have Crimson Blu in today, everyone. The
Hey,
winner of
guys.
Top 10 last week.
We need a drum roll.
Hey guys, thank you for having me back.
Pleasure. Guys, we interviewed her earlier. Well, I think it was the first week we were starting this.
Yes, I also think so. And remember, on the interview, we said that we must get her back. And guess
so
what?
much more to
Guess what?
She's back.
Yes, she
Back. It's great to see you guys again.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, I'm quickly going to read her bio. Crimson Blu. Her music is centered around international sounds fused with African instruments and melodies. While the name Crimson Blu is a metaphoric description of who Tendai is. While describing her music through the use of color, crimson, blood red, being the constant color of love, which is always the center of her music, and blue, derived from blue, describing her ability to capture sorrow or sadness, which is present at some point in everyone's life, in a manner that soothes the soul. Blu also emphasizes the blues influence in her music. In 2013, Crimson Blu took part in a talent show called You Can Do It, sponsored by Nampak Bevcan, which aired on SABC 1. Out of the 5,000 hopefuls, Crimson was one of the top 5 winners, forming a group called the Maples. The group won a project-based recording deal with the Universal Music in 2014 to 2015. She joined 999 Music as a writer who wrote songs for certain artists at the stable. After 2 months, her work gained her reputation in the stable, and it was decided that her debut album titled Crimson Blu would be recorded. 2016, current, Crimson Blu embarked on a solo independent path. She is currently enjoying the journey, thanking God for each step. That is a hectic bio.
Yeah, I think there's a lot in there which is just like, it's all true. Yes, okay, let me just say that. It's all true.
And I think the last time we emphasized on you leaving the record label and starting on your new journey.
Yeah.
But now I want us to go back, way,
Mm.
way back, on You Can Do It. I want us to go there.
Oh my gosh, you can do it.
Yes.
Oh my
I want
gosh.
us to go
you
there.
can do it.
When you entered the competition, what was happening?
Okay, so very interesting. So You Can Do It. A friend of mine from Zim tells me about You Can Do It. He's like, auditions are being held at Baseline in Newtown, Joburg. I need you to take me there. I'm actually coming from Zim to SA just for those auditions, and I don't know where the place is. I knew where the place was. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take you there. So I went there because this friend of mine needed me to take them there. We stood for like the whole day in queues.
I can imagine.
Like the whole day. Like we actually made friends. People were jamming outside. That's how hectic it was. And then I auditioned, and then everything was quiet for a couple of months, like 4 months. Then they called us back like in the 5th month and like, okay, top 100, come back. So yeah,
I've never
Yo,
went that long. I've
she is so
forgotten
patient.
about You Can Do It.
I literally put it out of my mind and then boom. So we went back. That was hectic. So we spent the whole day again because like they had their whole production and we all had to be there super early and things started super late. So I was nervous. We did the top 100. They selected people. We in the end of the day, like we nervous, we there the whole day. At the end of the day, we're sitting in the auditorium and they announcing who made the top 50. And so I made the top 50, and then so half of us didn't make it. So you can just imagine the tension in the room.
And your friend from Zim?
My friend from Zim didn't make the top 100.
Come to think, she was the one who initiated the whole thing.
Yeah, like he was Mac 1. He is the one who actually told me about this.
Yes, I think God sent him
God
to
sent
you.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too. So we go and they like come back tomorrow for top 50. So I'm like, okay. So I got a guitarist friend of mine to play for me. I was super nervous, guys. Like, you have no idea. Because top 50 now, they're choosing the final 25. So super nervous, same process. Next day, hardly get any sleep. You got to pull it together. You come back, you wait it out until the judges are ready for you. We had celebrity judges and all of that. Donald, Arthur Mafokate, Kelly Kumalo, those were the judges. So we got back in there, and like now it's time to perform, and I'm like super nervous, guys. And Jodie Gold, I'll never forget, because she was like my person. She literally like was like this girl's in, you know. So I'm on stage. My strength was original music. So people are singing all these big ballads and all these songs, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sing one of my own songs. That's what I do best. So that's what I stuck to. So I got nervous on stage because things were intense and competition was crazy. And then Kelly Kumalo said to me, "Why are you doing this? This is called self-sabotage. You are sabotaging yourself
By singing the song, your own song.
by getting that nervous."
Okay.
And she was right, but I was like, okay, shine a light on my situation, why don't you? Anyway, so apparently I found out much later that backstage, like in the judges section, there was actually a tension. Like they fought about me. 2 judges said yes, 2 judges said no. So it was like drama. So apparently I hadn't made it into the top 25. And then somehow I was there.
By God's grace.
Like they said that we fought, it needed to be 3 votes for each person in the top 25. So there was 2 and 2. So Kelly Kumalo and one of the other ladies, Jodie Gold, didn't agree about me. So there was drama. Come time for us to be announced, they reading out your numbers, because we all had numbers. They like number 44. I'm like, that's me, I stand up. I stood up, guys, I kid you not. I stood up, and the judges were like, the judges' eyes were like,
They were so shocked.
they popped out, and then they're like, silence. And then I'm like, what's going on? Because this is not what happened when everyone else's numbers were announced. Then the judges like had the side talk, and then Arthur it was like he was the host as well. So he stood up and he's like, guys, we had a deliberation. Tendai was not in the top 25. She didn't make it. There was 2 and 2 votes. Here we have a list. Number 44 is on the list.
I know, how is that even possible?
They said we didn't agree. Everyone who didn't get 3 votes, therefore, did not make it. And there was disagreement backstage. There was, between the judges, it was intense. We agreed to leave it out. Here's our list. Here's number 44 on the list.
God performed a miracle that day.
He did. I really
Wow.
believe so. Because if it, in my own power, I failed because of nerves. In my own, if it was up to my own doing, that didn't get me through. There were people who outperformed me on the basis of not being in the state that I was in terms of nerves.
And self-sabotage, like you said.
Yeah.
Stress really does that to a person.
And somehow the number was there. And then they even said, sit down. They spoke. And then they said, number 44. And then I stood up again. And they're like, ha. So anyway, fast forward to all of this happening. There's so many things that God did in that time which showed me that, look, this is not about me. Hey, God's doing everything here. And so I made it into the top 25. We were in a house. They had us all sectioned out. And then I gravitated towards this group of guys. There were 4 of them. They had another girl in the group. She decided to leave that group. So, we paired up to perform. And then eventually, after one performance I did, the guy said, please can you join our crew? And that's the Maples. And then the rest is history, man. I wish I had the performances for you. I really believe that God inspired what we did there.
Why the name maple?
Because a maple tree is like literally, it's deep rooted. It represented how the branches kind of spread out up there, and it was like people from different parts. I'm from Zim. One guy is Pedi. He's from like Soshanguve. The other guy is from Cape Town. The other guy is from somewhere in the Eastern Cape as well. And then Kaya was from there. Musa's there from Tembisa. So everyone's from different places, and it's deeply rooted, meaning that it cannot easily be uprooted. So yeah, I really had some of my best performance moments with the Maples.
So So that You Can Do It,
Mm-hmm.
was that like your chance to become famous?
Yes, your big break.
That was
there
like
we go, that's what I was.
big break. Yeah, it was supposed to be. We had a project-based deal with Universal Music, which eventually didn't really work out. That's just complicated, but it didn't work out. We did the music. Somehow, when it was now eventually time for us to go and shoot the video, which was like maybe another whole year after everything, one person was in Cape Town, one person was here, there, everywhere. So it didn't work out. We couldn't get it, be in one place at the same time. So it just didn't work out. God has his reasons, I believe.
It's true. It really does.
You worked with Zambia, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you know who Zambia is?
No.
Zambia is quite a star. And if you don't know Zambia, I don't know in which planet are you living. Because Zambia was big. So
Yeah.
tell us about your experience working with Zambia.
So that was like 2016. We did a track called Blow Your Mind. And it was part of one of his like comeback campaigns and all of that. I loved working with him. He's really one of those characters that just literally in front of the camera just poof, he comes alive. So it was so much fun. Like I learned a lot, you know, being with working with the likes of him, even Ishmael Murabe. We did some work with him too. So there was a lot of things that I learned working with these artists, and you know, learning also about how to just command the stage. Basically, was one of the things I learned from them.
You met them through the 999?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
How did you get into the 999
Station.
Yes.
A record label. So I literally, after You Can Do It, Arthur was
Yes.
behind You Can Do It. He was like the mind behind it, and he was also like, you know, the talent scout in there. So he said, okay, we see what you're doing with the Maples, and you the only person who we saw doing like proper original songs throughout the show. Can you come and write for, you know, some of our artists? Chomi and a few other artists. I'm like, sure, okay, I'll come and write. So I went there on the basis of I'm going to write songs when they need me to. And then I would always end up like saying we'd work with, and the producer was just amazing. His name is Washington. One of the best people I've ever worked with in my life. And so we did the songs, and then he'd be like, okay, we still have like 2 hours, because it was just flowing like that. And I'm like, okay, what do you have? Can we just work on something else? I love impromptu stuff in the studio. I love working like that. I'll just write on the spot if I like the instrumental. So when we did that, and then they reviewed it, they were like, listen, this person's ready, let's just do the album. And so that's how it all started.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you've been working on stuff from 2015 to currently now. What have you been doing?
So from 2016, I started doing a bit more of your live gigs, not so in the spotlight out there and, you know, on big stage, but like more of your intimate settings. I was working with my late business partner, Gary Mayo, and he literally just showed me the ropes about how to do this entertaining in a high profile dinner settings, those type of environments, which I really loved because I felt I connected more with the people, you know, than when you're on a big stage and everyone's like, oh, here's this person, are you a superstar for real? That type of vibe, you know.
So do you prefer those smaller connections than those big crowd ones?
I mean,
I'm sure the fans don't, in a way.
I mean, there's each setting has its pros and cons, but I personally do love an intimate crowd because I get to read the people. I can see their faces
And also connect with
music.
Yes, and see if they like the music, and I can actually tell that they like this, so I can play this song next. You know, it's easier for you to do that.
Can't do that in the crowd. You're all hearing cheering. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the next song we're going to play now.
Yeah.
In terms of writing, what inspires you to write? Do you write from your personal experiences, or you just see Zadie and you need to write a song for Zadie, you just go
Oh, you're welcome to that way.
You see, sometimes I'm inspired by situations and people. Like at some point, someone that I knew in the stable was going through something hectic in their personal life, and they were someone who was on the team. So they spoke to me about it a lot. So I ended up like writing a song about that.
I'm never sharing anything with you.
No, but like they
Next
asked
thing
me
is on the
to.
song.
They were heartbroken, so they asked me to
Write
a song to help them through that heartbreak, and it ended up being a pretty big song. Like it was written as a sad, somber soul song, and then one guy took the vocals and turned it into a house song, and it became Pieces on the Ground, produced by African Roots. It was big. It was literally popular in Joburg, Gauteng side. So it didn't. It was turned around, but initially it was like a sad song.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So I get inspired by different situations, my own personal experiences. Sometimes it's literally just God drops the song into me. Maybe I'm sleeping, and then I wake up, and then I'm like, phone record.
Yeah.
Literally.
So your name, Crimson Blu.
Mhm.
The blue part is for the sad music. So I'm guessing you mainly have sad music in your
And
previous songs that you've written.
I can say that before I really like came into knowing myself in God and like knowing who I am, I was really like, I only felt really genuine when I was expressing the sad side of things. I guess that was my take on life at that point. You know, I didn't have much joy, if I'm gonna be honest. I just felt like, you know, the way I'm gonna deal with every situation that's made me feel sad is to put it in the music. So I had that. So I felt like if I can soothe somebody in a similar situation through what I've written, then I'm achieving something.
So that's
So,
your
yeah.
own poetry in a sense.
Yes, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Do singers actually like poetry?
Yeah, I'm
Songwriters.
actually a poet myself.
It's true.
So yeah, I do have poetry as well.
Can you read some for us sometime?
That
Maybe
would- yeah.
next time, you know?
There's always a next time with Crimson.
No.
Maybe she's the next winner for this week.
Ooh,
You never know. There's always a next
who
time.
knows? Wouldn't that be awesome?
We can only hope.
Oh, we could only hope. But yeah, I do poetry as well. In high school, I was like on my A game in poetry. So I may be a little rusty now, but I believe that I could still churn out some really good poetry right now.
I've got the skill. I'm pretty sure if I had to write a poem, I'll be the cat sat on a mat. The mat was wet. Something like that. Third grade kind of level poetry.
And I love the fact that you write about sad stuff, because when I am going through something, I don't want to listen to a happy song. I want to
know,
cry.
I
I want to
know.
listen to something sad, something that I can relate on. Like, I can't be going through something and listening to a happy song. No, it does not make sense.
I know what you mean, though.
does
I
not
mean,
make
but
sense.
then when you look at things, there's two sides to it. Because when you look at things from like a Christian side, and you understand something, they tell you when you're in that state, you need to praise it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to uplift you and change everything. And literally, I've learned that is true. Because I would find myself, maybe I'm sad, and then like it goes from a sad 5 minutes to a sad 5 hours. And you see, before. But when I learned about praise, I could be sad about something, and like 10 minutes later, I'm good. It's literally
The
out.
power of God.
Yeah.
Yes, I also do the same. When I'm sad, I usually like log into Instagram or to YouTube to go search for Pastor Sarah Jakes.
Oh,
And then I'm going to listen to
yeah.
something that is more like, that empowers me to just like
Just,
get over
yes.
whatever that I am
You're
facing at the
feeling.
moment.
Mm.
Yes.
Definitely.
What artist inspires you?
Okay, so, wow, where to start? Okay, so first of all, Ashade Adu, I grew up listening to a lot. Asha from Nigeria. Oliver Mtukudzi, Chiwoniso from Zimbabwe.
She remembers everyone.
I also really at a certain stage in my life was in love with Amy Winehouse, which is like,
Oh, she was awesome.
she really was. She influenced a lot of the, I could say, my love for jazz. It came from hearing her do a modern take on it. So that was also that. I also listened to Israel Horton. I listened to, gosh, you know, so many guys. It's like just going through my mind right now in the
What about
library.
your husband?
Oh, Good Intentions. Oh my gosh.
His name is
Forget
Good
about
Intentions, right?
Yes.
Is
Good Intentions.
his intentions always good though?
I think most of it, I'll give him like a 99%.
No,
But that
I
1%,
think in
though,
general.
you don't know what's going to happen that 1%.
Like, that's the mystery that, like, keeps it all interesting, guys.
And it's the month of love, and he said it was Valentine's Day.
Imagine,
How
you
was
know.
your Valentine's Day, actually?
My
Let's get to know
Valentine's Day.
the personal life, actually.
Let me tell you guys, my Valentine's Day was like the same.
Every day is Valentine's Day.
For me, every day is Valentine's Day. Why? Because we do stuff like not on Valentine's Day. We do stuff like on a random day. So as much as people celebrate Valentine's Day, I'm not into the concept of, you know, Valentine's Day personally, but I would like to have like 15 Valentine's Days in a year. So
I don't think anyone else will agree with you there.
so that's what I mean, like make it a lifestyle, in other words. Do
You
random
don't have to wait
spontaneous
for
stuff.
Valentine's Day.
To
Imagine
do
having to
something
wait
special.
for that.
That
Exactly, because I feel there's a pressure around it. It almost feels unnatural.
is true. And it's been so commercialized lately. I mean, the carbon footprint that is left after buying roses and then drawings, it's quite astonishing.
Yeah, I never actually thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Anyway, to educate everyone.
She's right, though. Yeah. So I'm like, Valentine's Day is like not the day that I celebrate, but we do have our own way of like showing love throughout the year.
And I think that is good. I can't wait to find my husband.
You'll
You
find
can
it.
do that. I'll focus on myself. I don't want a significant other. I'm good. I just want money.
Or must
so I
my
can
husband
travel.
find me, or must I find him?
I think it's
mean,
mutual. You
It's
should
mutual.
should go halfway and he'll come the other halfway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, you can't go knock on his door. That'd be a bit creepy. Hello, my name is Tally. I'm your significant other.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk about your new mom, right?
Yes.
Yes. How is motherhood?
Motherhood. Oh
And how
my
has
God.
it changed you?
Motherhood is like, I'm still even finding myself from motherhood. Oh, today's the 15th, right?
Yes, it is.
It's my baby's 7-month birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
I can't wait to leave a year old at least. It's a she, right?
Yeah.
I can't
It's,
wait for
Imagine if it wasn't. A child of
yeah, so yeah, she's 7 months. I love her to bits. It's crazy. Today I was like, okay, I need to just sneak out and come here because I don't want the drama. It comes with me having to leave. She's at that stage where she's like,
She knows when you're not around.
she can see everything. Like when
Oh,
I leave the
I know.
room, she knows that I've left the room.
Okay, we wanna talk, what's new for Crimson? What can we expect from you?
Like lots of new music. I'm feeling really inspired.
Oh, so it's going to be an album.
Something's coming, guys. Also, I'm planning a virtual concert.
Oh, that's really
Um,
awesome. COVID friendly.
Yes.
Where can our fans,
Not-
Yes, Agape
Just
fans,
kidding.
guys.
I'm getting
Yes.
so used to saying it. You said, where can your fans find it? And
Okay, so
listeners?
you will be connected in on my Instagram page, which is Crimson_Blu, BLU for blue. And then you can find it on my Facebook page as well. There's going to be a live session happening. You'll also be able to find it on Twitter on my page, which is Miss Crimson Blu. And then I'll also put it on YouTube, which is Crimson Blu, so that people can watch it anytime.
That's going to be Awesome. Are you going to be able to get away from your child for that long for the concert though?
Yeah, I mean,
I think she must join you on the concert.
I'll probably pop her in.
Yes, she must feature
You know,
in.
she loves music, so yeah.
I can imagine both her parents are musicians.
Yeah, and she's loud, hey. I feel like she's gonna do something with music in it.
I think you can sing. She might have like a really nice voice.
She might, hey. I wonder. I'm gonna get her in studio once she can actually like see what's happening.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can interview her one day.
Oh, so old and grey.
You won't be old and grey, guy. It's like at 3. You could probably interview her at 3. She could tell you some
Yes.
things.
Will you allow her to go into music industry at 3?
I'll allow her if I'm right there with her.
Mm.
I will be there with
Protect
her.
her.
Yeah.
What are the things that, if your daughter aspires to become a musician,
Mhm.
what advice would you give to her?
Okay.
Because
so,
you've been in the industry,
Mhm.
you've seen everything.
So, I'm gonna speak like I'm speaking to Asa right now. So I would literally say to her, tell me everything. First of all, tell me everything. Find someone you can tell everything.
Did you have that someone?
Not all the time, but when I met my then boyfriend, now husband, yes, because I could tell him everything that was going on. And we've been together, this is our 9th year now. So yeah, and we've been married for 2 years. So like, find someone you can tell everything, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Some people come with different opportunities, and they're not really what they're cut out to be. So you need to consult with someone, even if you think you know what's best. Speak to someone whom you can trust. Pray. Always pray about what's going on, because God will always give you a sense of, is this genuinely what's going on or not? So pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. Always believe in yourself. Don't let people say that you can't do it. And don't be forced into a certain persona that you know is not you. People will love you for you. If they don't love you, they're the wrong people. Just keep moving.
Okay, very emotional. You can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, don't let people tell you who to be. Don't let people tell you what to wear. Don't
Yes.
let people tell you how to look. Don't let people tell you.
Always be yourself. Imagine
Yeah.
having to be, that's a job. Imagine having to pretend and put up a face. If I can imagine that being so tiring. Could never
It's
be.
extremely tiring, I'm telling you. And the funny thing is, there are people who do it without ceasing.
Yeah. It's too much.
That's what you call fake people.
Yes.
And
People
it's
must
all-
love you for being you, not the other
Not
person
the
that
other
you
person.
put out.
And they literally, the thing is, that's how drugs and everything gets involved.
Yes.
Because I know of people who were on drugs and are on drugs. And it's not, I'm saying this because I saw them struggling. You get what I mean? I saw people failing to make appointments, failing to make interviews, being looked for days, and having important work that you're supposed to be doing,
And I
then no
think
one can find you because you have blacked out somewhere,
It's terrible.
and no one, and people getting worried only for someone just to pop up on a certain day.
No way.
And I
I
think a
don't
lot of
know.
musicians use drugs because they want to be cool. Like, you can't be yourself. If you are someone who is quiet, you're like, people are not going to relate with me.
Almost like a
You
fashion
see-
stage.
Yes, so now you want to be that person.
You want to be the one that does everything.
Like, if
You
whenever
have it
you
all.
come in the room and then people must like notice you here.
And you want to know something else I found, and it's interesting because I learned this very recently, is that the people who using drugs, right? As human beings, we are spiritual beings, right? So being spiritual beings, our natural state of excellence is not on this level. It's inspired by something. So when we find God and the Holy Spirit comes into play, we can tap into Him and we get into that supernatural state. So when people don't have that connection to God, they don't know how to get into that supernatural state. So they start taking substances. And being a celebrity and being an artist, you feel like I gotta be Superwoman, Superman right now. And then you don't know about God. You don't know that the Holy Spirit is actually real and He should be your inspiration. So now you start looking for stuff.
Yes,
To get you to that height.
Yes.
And so when that happens, it's just someone who's actually realizing that the flesh is not enough. My flesh is not enough. I need something else.
Yes, I am not content at all.
Exactly. I can't actually make it through all the stuff I need to do on the power of my own flesh. So instead of looking for God to do this, they now look for substances to get them there.
And I think people like quick fixes, like something that is like instantly happening. Because with God has his own perfect time, which is it's long. For people who are impatient, it's very much long.
I'm telling you.
So you want something now, and it must be done now.
I know. I've seen it all, guys, and I'm not perfect. I've been through my own challenges in life, but I'll tell you something. I'm grateful for where I am right now, and I'm grateful for where I'm going, because it's only going to get better.
And where you've been through, because if you hadn't had to go through all those struggles, you would never be the person that you are today. Yes, I'm also grateful for everything that I've been through.
Yes.
Even though at times you're like, oh my goodness,
oh my word.
I am such a baby. What is happening?
What happened there, you know?
Yeah.
But guess what? That's what qualifies you to give someone else advice.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to give anyone advice about something that you know nothing about?
Yes. How are you supposed to tell your tale?
So you came from being a very popular, I would say, doing the whole entire crowd performances to a very small crowd performances. Did you lose a lot of fans during that journey?
I wouldn't say so. Like, literally, guys, I don't view people as fans. I don't really like the term fans. I don't view it that way. So maybe that I didn't really look at people in that way. Whoever supports me, like, I will make an effort to connect with that person. Like, if they reach out to me on a certain platform, I'll connect with them. If they tell me that they love a song that I did or whatever, I will personally respond to that. I haven't had a problem where I've got 500,000 people and I can't personally do it, so I have like a automated response. I haven't reached that type of level, but I always feel like people are people. Fans is a term that
Dehumanizes them in a way.
yes, it kind of like it's insensitive in a way. So people are people, and I never looked at people as numbers. So I've always had people supporting me, and that's all that matters to me. So whether there were many or there were fewer, I feel like the ones in the smaller groups were more genuine because they actually wanted to connect with me regularly.
You know, those ones are the true ones, so there's no reason to have them.
Yeah.
Definitely agree there.
Yeah.
I think we can conclude everything now. I think we have said everything that we wanted to say. From like the first interview. Remember the first interview? We were like, oh my goodness, why?
Why did it end so quickly?
And we spoke for like around an hour that time. This one was only half an hour.
Oh my gosh, what do you want to know,
What do you
guys?
what do you want to say to the people that voted for you? I mean, like, you are only here because of their votes.
First of all, thank you so much, guys. Like, I even made a little video, and maybe I'll share it with you guys on the Facebook page.
Oh, thanks.
I made a video for everyone who voted for me. I was so excited, you have no idea. Like, John knows what happened, because I thought I'd lost. I thought that I lost, and then I actually came to terms with it, and I was like, I prayed about it. I'm like, God, thank you for the opportunity. Number 2 is fine. I'm okay with it. And then I even sent John a voice note. I'm like, John, thank you so much for the opportunity, and Agape FM. You know, number 2 is really great. Can I submit some more music? You know, and he's like, what are you talking about? The results aren't out yet. because I'd seen one of the posters which had the day's votes, like saying you're number.
Okay, on Friday you were
on
number
Friday
2.
I was on number 2, so I saw that and assumed that was the end.
Okay, John hadn't concluded all the votes.
No.
Okay, it was Saturday. I also saw that. I didn't want to ask John. Okay.
So I was like, I saw that, like, and I only saw it at like 1 a.m. Like, I woke up and then I was like,
these night owl people. It takes like 10 o'clock, I go to bed 10.
Guys, I'll tell you something, right? Recently, I wake up at like 1 or 2, and I know that I can't just go back to sleep. Something needs to happen.
What must happen?
Like,
You have to write.
You must pray. Must pray, guys.
Your spirit woke you up.
You can tell the difference, like when you, in fact, like of late, I'm being woken up at certain times. There was 3 days when it was the same time every day, every morning, 3 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 a.m. Then you know that.
Spirit, please don't wake me up in the night. I've got tests next week, so please don't do that.
So
Don't get any ideas.
that's been happening to me. So I woke up at like 1 a.m. and then I wake up feeling fresh, like let's go. And then I know, okay, let's go for real. What is it? Am I reading or am I praying? What's it? And the truth is, like, it just sets the pace for your week. If you've been struggling with something and you find yourself randomly awake in the night, you know what to do. Don't just go back. It's easy to go back to sleep, but you might regret it when you wake up in the morning and find out.
And there's something about 3 a.m. Do you know the thing about 3 a.m.? People saying that, it's bad around 3 a.m.
I don't take chances now. Okay, sometimes I'm feeling really sleepy and tired because of the baby and stuff. So I will wake up and then I will like sit for like 10. I'll be in bed and then I'll be like, Lord, today I'm exhausted. I'll try and push like 15 or 30 minutes, please, and then I'll just pray there. But usually I'll get up out of bed and like make sure that I hit however long it takes until I can feel like God's done his thing with me, and that's where the encounters happen.
We need to discuss that, but
Yeah.
we are running out of time. But do you want to tell him to follow you on blah 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 and
Yes.
yada yada yada?
Okay, so thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for choosing me as number 1. I love you guys so much, and you can follow me on Crimson Blu, CRIMSON_BLU on Instagram, on Facebook, Crimson Blu, on Twitter at Miss Crimson Blu, and I love you guys so much. Keep voting for He Loves Ya and every other song that's gonna come.
I feel like you need to give other children a chance.
She's not. Well, so
Yes, other kids must have a chance also to win Crimson, please.
Everybody can win, guys.
Please,
Just
Crimson,
vote.
please.
Thank you so much for coming in today. We really enjoyed your company.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're going to be playing Shining by the Nation.